commemorate the Nakba, to call on our government to end the siege on Gaza, to stand in solidarity with those who are joining the next Freedom Flotilla, and to say that we demand freedom, justice and peace in Palestine. 63 years after the catastrophe, I'm struck by the fact that we're still running out of words to describe the full horror of the situation faced by Palestinians today. The settlements are still expanding relentlessly in spite of international agreements that the Israeli government has made to halt them. And the colonization of East Jerusalem continues. A UN report this week, for example, confirms that 1/3 of East Jerusalem has been confiscated since 1967 in order to expand settlement construction. And as a result, house demolitions don't only continue, they actually accelerate. And the apartheid wall continues to grow, transforming villages into open-air prisons, turning the West Bank into a series of disconnected Balochistans, and splitting in half communities, farms and families. And of course the people of Gaza remain under siege. Israel's government continues to prohibit the entry into the region of food, medicines, materials and so much more. And worse than that, they do it with impunity. I think we should say very clearly that what is happening in Palestine now is a grotesque crime against humanity, and that it is completely scandalous that our government is standing by and letting it happen. Because it is because of the complicity and cowardice of successive British governments and those of the EU and the US that the gates of Gaza remain closed, that it is illegal under international law and it is immoral under any moral compass. It's not as if the international community doesn't have levers to put pressure on the Israeli authorities if they chose to do so. As well as a ban on arms exports, for example, we could stop importing Israeli weapons, withholding from the authorities some of the international finance that has allowed Israel to become the 4th largest arms exporter in the world. The EU could suspend its association agreement with Israel, under which Israeli goods still continue to enjoy preferential access to EU markets. And crucially, most importantly, the international community has a real opportunity to support peace in the region by working with the newly formed caretaker government and, crucially, formally recognising any future unity government that is elected next year. Because let us not forget, it was the refusal of the UK, of the EU, of the international community to recognise the last democratically elected government because it contained Hamas. It was their refusal to recognise that which has led to so much of the chaos and catastrophe since. If we say we want the Palestinians to follow the democratic route, it means we have to recognise what that democracy throws up. And so finally, I think we need to be saying to our government loud and clear that we reject entirely the policy of collective punishment which continues to be inflicted on the Palestinian people, that we want Palestine recognised as a member state of the UN this September, that we demand an end to the illegal Israeli occupation, an end to military and financial support to Israel until that happens, and justice finally for the Palestinians.